The broadcast is now starting. All attendees are in listen-only mode.
Good morning, everyone. I hope everyone is having a great day. Now, I do want to warn everyone that we are anticipating thunderstorms. They're not supposed to come in until around 12:30, but if they come in early, then I will end the webinar. I do not like to have my computer connected to anything when there is a thunderstorm. Okay? Now, before we get started this morning, I do want everyone to take a moment to read over the risk disclaimer. This is for your protection as well as mine. I will be using demo platforms in the webinar. That's just the way I roll, okay? Good morning, Charles. How are you? All right. Now, remember, if you cannot afford to lose the money, then you should not be trading. Okay, that's the bottom line. I mean, if you're trading with your mortgage money, you should not be doing that. It screws up your psychology, and of course, you always have the possibility of losing. You know, I lose quite a bit, but the bottom line is I make more than I lose. Okay, does everybody understand that? Yeah. Today, as far as market reports go, we only have the crude oil inventory report, okay? And that comes out at 10:30, and we might look at trading that one. I'm not really sure. It depends on what I see on the chart. Sometimes we can actually do that one using a volatility spread. It just depends on what's available. Because of the volatility that we have experienced lately, some of these binaries are hard to get into. So we're just going to have to look at them and see what we can get into. Okay. Now, right now, I've got the NASDAQ up. You can see that there was an entry here. Okay. And that entry did have what is considered bullish divergence, okay? Now, what do I mean by bullish divergence, okay? Your price made a higher low, and let me change the color on that so you can actually see what I'm drawing. We'll do light blue. So we see that we made a higher low, but we made a lower low in the stochastics. Plus, this is a reversal bar, which automatically confirmed the divergence. Does everybody understand that? And you can also see that we have nothing in the way here. In other words, this is what I would consider a sweet spot because more than likely it will go up. Okay? Does everybody understand that? Now, how do I know that was an entry? Well, it's very simple. I have a trade flow analysis that really kind of walks you through it, okay? Now, can everybody see this? The first question, okay, is price at an ATR? Well, yes, it was at an ATR. Did we have trade alignment? That simply means that I have two ATRs in my direction. In this case, I have the blue and the white. So I can say, yes, I'm at an ATR. Yes, I have trade alignment. The next one is the stochastics confirmation. In this case, we had bullish divergence, which is hidden divergence to the upside. So I can also check that one. You enter in the direction of the ATR. In this case, the ATR is below price, so you have an entry to the upside. Are there any questions on that? Now, as you're reading this, do you see how the answers are yes or no? There's no maybe on this trade flow analysis because you shouldn't have maybe in there. Either you have a trade or you do not have a trade. It's one of the two. That's right. There's no wiggle room, because the more wiggle room we give ourselves, the more likely we are to screw up a good trade. Does everybody understand? That's where everybody gets into trouble, Charles. You're not alone. Okay. Now, one of your questions might be, but what if I didn't see it at the ATR? Well, if you notice, I have a column right here in the Market Analyzer. It says price to the ATR on both the 3-minute and on a 12-minute. Now, this is the key when you get the indicators for NinjaTrader or Multicharts or TradeStation. If you go to, in this case, the columns, we're going to look at that. We're going to go to the ticks to the ATR. And in this case, ticks to the ATR is set to 5. What does that mean? Okay, that means it's going to tell me when I am within 5 ticks of the ATR. Because within 5 ticks, that gives me enough time to say, hey, it's moving in my direction, or, oh, no, I don't want to take that trade yet. Does everybody understand that? Any questions? And that was just a really good trade setup this morning. Now, the problem right now is there's so much volatility that you're having to risk more than normal, okay? Normally, I'm only risking 10 ticks on a trade, okay? By the time you could have got into this is 2687, okay? You would at least have to set your stop under the ATR, which is at 2680. That means you're going to be risking at least about 8 points on this trade. Okay? Remember the disclaimer: do not trade with money you cannot afford to lose. I don't trade with a large stop unless I have a potential to make at least double what my risk is. Okay? I know right now we're experiencing a lot of volatility. Everybody's been waiting on this downtrend that occurred, but unfortunately, when it occurred, a lot of times you can't even get into it because it's just moving too fast. The same thing also goes when there's a lot of volatility with the binaries. There's not even a binary you can get into, okay? So those are the times you just kind of have to sit aside, let the market calm down a little bit, and then go into a trade. Does everybody understand that? And yes, I know you're missing out on a ton of money. You're also missing out on a ton of loss. Okay? Works both ways. Okay, now I want to bring up the crude chart. And again, this is a demo platform. In case you can't tell, it says demo right here. Okay, we're going to go over to the commodities. We're going to go to crude, and we're going to go to 9 a.m. to 11 a.m. I'm going to bring up a crude chart. I already know that crude is trading at 63.83, and it's in the process of forming a reversal bar. And that bar has just about 7 minutes left. You're also overextended. Okay, so I don't want to risk a lot because this is a market report that anything can happen. So what I'm going to do is take the 63.55. I'm only going to do one contract because if you can't make money with one contract, you're not going to make money with 2 contracts. and it didn't get me in, so I'm going to click again. Immediately, I'm going to set a profit target here. If it goes down to 15, I want to get out. Now, because my risk on this was right at $25, in order to take the upside, I would need to do the $63.95, but the risk is too high. It's not what I want. So I'm going to go over to the commodities and see if they have one that has a lower risk on it. Again, you're trading currently at 63.79. The only one you would be able to take would be the 64.12, and it's got to move, what, 40 cents in your direction. It's possible with the crude oil inventory coming. So I'm going to do that one to the long side. $12 is going to be pretty easy to cover. Everybody understand that so far? Now, if you have a question, if you don't ask, then I can't answer it. I love answering questions, but you have to ask the question in order for me to know that you have a question, okay? Now, we've got one on the commodities. Now, the other one I like to trade during this market report is the US CAD, okay? And this example, I'm actually going to do the one that expires at 11 a.m. And right now, the US CAD is right at the ATR on the 15-minute chart. I believe that this is going to go up. So the current price is $25.14. I think that's too much risk on the 17, so I'm going to go up here to $25.27. Okay. Again, I'm immediately going to set a target, and I'm actually going to set a target at 75. Any questions so far? Now, could we do a potential to the downside? We could actually do this one, $24.97. Does not have a lot of risk. It's got $16.50 in risk. So in this one, which is the short, I'm actually going to put the target at 15. Okay. And under the working orders, I'm actually going to go back and change this because I'm both ways to 85. And I may manage that one. But because I have both sides of that market, I'm actually going to put in a higher profit target to compensate for the potential loss. Everybody understand that? Can't talk this morning. Any questions on what I just did? Now, I'm also going to open the working orders in another screen so that if I need to manage it, I can. A lot of times I typically do not watch this one as much as I watch my working orders in the current market. Now, that market report does not come out for about 17 minutes. So let's go over and see if we have anything on the future side. Okay. The first thing that I notice is everything is overbought on the 3-minute chart. Okay. That just tells me the stochastics is overextended. Now, when I look to the 12-minute, you can see on the ES, you're overextended on both the 3 and the 12. Go to the NASDAQ, and you're overextended on the stochastics, not overextended on the 12-minute, but you are on the ADX. You're also overextended on the 45-minute chart. Okay? Don't like that. Okay. What about the Dow? What's going on with the Dow? The Dow is getting to the point of being overextended. It is overextended on the 12 and overextended over here on the 3-minute. I do not like trading into markets that are overextended, especially when you have a congestion dot right up above price. Does everybody understand that? If the market is overbought, why am I buying into it? Okay, that's a good setup for a losing trade. Why is it a setup for a losing trade? Because you're overextended. It's going to retrace. When you're trading binary options, you're trading time, okay? That overbought status is telling me that in the very near future, it's going to have a retracement. I'm trying to go long. That don't make a lot of sense. Okay? Let's see if we can get into anything else at the moment. And I'm using the Forex charts on my other screen. Okay, we're going to have to move this one. I'm just trying to move my screens around so I can see. Let's see. That would be too close. Maybe that one though. 88.68. No. What about the Aussie dollar? Okay. Let's pop this one out, bring it over here, pin it. Okay. Now here's the Aussie dollar. We have two ATRs in our favor, and the bar currently forming is forming to the downside. Okay. You're almost at the point of being overextended. I'm going to look to see if there is a binary I like. Okay, that's, I'm just going to check it out. Okay, the Aussie does move slow this time of day, so I'm not going to risk a lot on this. We have about an hour and 30 minutes, so I'm going to try to do this one at $25, $24.50. Okay, again, putting in a profit target. And this one I'm going to set to 20 because I'm not taking the other side of the direction. Does everybody understand that? Any questions on that? Now, if this bar continues as it is right now, you are going to have the stochastics confirming because you are making higher highs with lower highs in the stochastics. Everybody understand that? Now, the Aussie dollar does not move very much during this time of day, but we are within 2 strikes of it. We'll see. Okay? That's all we can do. We'll see. And I think I'm in enough trades at the moment, so I'm not going to enter anymore. I am going to check, and I do this quite often. I have an Aussie binary. I have an Aussie working order. I have crude oil inventory binary. I have a working order for that. I have a US CAD 24.97. I have an exit order for it. I have a USD CAD 25.27 and a working order for the same. Now, that does not mean I'll actually get these profit targets. I set these profit targets just in case the market moves very quickly and price reaches my level and there's sufficient buyers or sellers, then I can potentially exit the position. Does everybody understand that? Sometimes I might get filled on a couple of orders and not get filled on the others. This is why I think you should always pay attention to your trades. You know, your job as a trader is to monitor your position, and if new information presents itself, then you close your position. In other words, we made a decision to enter the market with the information that we had at the time. But sometimes that information changes, okay? And we have to modify what we're doing in response to the change. Sort of like the weatherman. A couple of weeks ago, he said we were going to have 3 inches of snow. When I went to bed, it was 1 to 3 inches. When I got up, it was 8 inches to a foot. Why? Because he modified his prediction based on new information. Trading, same thing. Modify what you are doing according to new information that comes out. Understand? Especially on this one with the Aussie dollar. No, I am not snoring, guys. That is my boxer. She loves to snore. Okay? Now remember, on the USD Canadian, we're in both directions. Okay? Now that tells me I probably won't modify this. We also have 2 directions on the crude. Notice on the Aussie dollar, we're one direction, that direction is down. But let's say in the next 7 minutes, this goes up and flips this ATR. Do I still maintain the outlook that it's going to go down? Okay. If I can save some of the risk, then yes, I would exit the trade. Does everybody understand that? You're in a constant state of modification once you're in a trade. The trades on the crude oil inventory are known as volatility-based trades. The one on the Aussie dollar is known as a directional position. I believe it's going to go down. And also for those that are in the room for the first time, there are 5 different handouts. The trade flow analysis is there. The success tool for traders is there. Market volatility reports and the cheat sheets for learning price bars. So you can download those at any time during the presentation. It just makes it easier for me versus trying to send them out to everybody. What I would like to see on the Aussie is for the current price bar to close under the low of the previous price bar. That would just kind of make my day. Not really, but it would tell me I'm probably in the right direction. You see how it's going up at the last minute? I don't want to see that. And sometimes I use that, okay, I'll give it one more bar. Y'all hear me say that sometimes? And that's a good indication of, I might give it one more bar. But it's not doing what I want it to do. So this is your option to exit because you're given new information. Now, typically I do wait until the end of the bar to do that. In other words, it's 4.5 minutes. Let's see if we can get the crew chart up. It's around here somewhere. Yeah, there it is. And we're just going to watch because the market report is in about 3.5 minutes, 4 minutes. You see how that maintained that reversal bar pattern? That's what we wanted to see. I'd like to see that type of formation over here on the Aussie. Don't have it yet. Trying to work around all these screens here. I need that where I can get to it. There we go. If you do have any questions, right now is a great time to ask them because I'm not taking another trade at the moment. I'm just going to wait and see what happens. Now, there is a possibility during the crude oil inventories that the market doesn't move. Sometimes it doesn't. It's not as consistent, especially with the US CAD, because there's no report on the Canadian today. I prefer to trade it when there's actually a report on the Canadian. It makes a pretty awesome trade, but we don't have that today. And here comes the market report. And this is usually when I open up the working order. I'm watching this number right here. I have an order in at 15. We're a quarter away. Let's see if it hits it. And it's filled. So I can delete that one now. And as you can see, it is going down. Now, I want to open up the US CAD because it doesn't look like it's doing anything. So let's just open it and see. And it's just moving a little bit slower. We can get rid of that one now. We need it to move up about 8 pips, more or less. I'm still watching the Aussie dollar. Would really like it to close on this bar under this blue line. But I need it to get to about here. Okay. So it really needs to start moving here. It ain't doing too much right now. I'm still waiting to see what the Aussie's going to do. Not a lot of movement so far on the U.S. CAD. Again, there was no market report on the CAD today. And this is what happens sometimes. It just does nothing. I'm still wanting the Aussie dollar to close below the low of the last bar. That would confirm the trend divergence. Again, if the Canadian closes above the high here, that tells me the next bar should be an up bar. This was also a reversal bar in and of itself. Canadian still has to move up about 7 pips. It's going to have to do it in the next 17 minutes. The longest one, which is the Aussie dollar, has an hour and a half. We will not be in that for an hour and a half, I can just about guarantee it. Usually not in my trades an hour and a half. And this is where you say, go, Bessie, go. This is the last 15-minute bar on the US CAD. Notice how your stochastics turned down. That's the reason I wanted that bar. It confirmed it. So you have trend divergence because you made higher highs, lower highs on the stochastics. Confirm it with your price bar. When you're trading binaries, you're actually looking at this number because that is what determines whether you get paid or not. We have 10 minutes for this to actually go above the 27. Come on, Bessie. Let's go. I'm going to set that at 80. I think I can get out for 80. And I did. So now we have the Aussie dollar. We do have an hour and 8 minutes. What I don't like about the Aussie dollar right now is the volume is not increasing as much as I would like it to. So I'm going to see if we can get out at 30. Not sure that I can, but we're going to try. But I'm going to go ahead and open that back up because I might change it. Okay. Okay, I don't like what it's doing, so I'm going to amend it, and I'm going to get out of it. Why did I not like it? Because I'm not seeing the sellers increasing down here. Now, I realize there's another 7 minutes and it could blow through it, but meanwhile, I actually had a profit. I'm going to take my profit. Any questions on that? So basically, we lost $12 on the crude protection order. We lost 15 on the Canadian short, but overall, we made money for the morning. Does everybody understand that? Any questions? Can everybody hear me? Y'all are a quiet bunch today. All right, if there are no questions, then I guess I'll end the presentation. There were some good trades, but again, it was pretty easy because we were mainly trading the market report. The Aussie was the only hard one, but it was at an ATR on both the 15 and 30. So more than likely it would go down. I will. I did record it, Ray, and I will post it on the blog. Okay. Well, Gunter, I think we had, let's see, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 trades. 3 were profitable, which we knew 2 were more than likely going to lose money. That's the way it goes. But if the market went against us, then our directional, we would have made money. All right. I hope everyone has a wonderful afternoon. I will not have a live trading room, I think, next Tuesday, but the following Tuesday I will. Okay? I will get this posted later today, and I'll send out an email when I do post it. So those of you that were late in the room have a chance to review it. Okay? Everyone have a wonderful day, and I'll see you at the next live trading room.